What's up guys, Alex from FIFA Scouting Tips here, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Pompey Youth Stars. Just before I get started, I want to say keep your Scouting God contest entries coming in. Don't forget this month it is on fastest scouted players, and I'm going to be a little bit more lenient this month. Instead of just having them either in the academy or just after they've been promoted, I'm going to say that they can be 20 years old or under, just to give you a little bit more chance to develop them a little bit, because it is really difficult to find fast players straight out of the academy. So they can be 20 years old or under, so make sure you submit that before the end of the month. All the details will be in the description below. Just before I get started with the first game, I've put a couple of extra players up for loan. First of all, Curtis Simpson, because I listened to what you guys were saying in the comments. I am going to loan him out because his overall is just so low, it's going to be so hard to play with him in games. So we're going to loan him out, see how he does. Remember, he was the one who was promoted before the May update, so we can see how his physical stats grow. And also a couple of wingers. Pimentel was already up for loan, but also Paulo Daniel, because I have so many left wingers, they're not all going to get time, and I don't want them complaining about a lack of game time. So we want to keep them happy, so I'm going to loan him out. Hopefully he'll get some good exposure at another team. So our first match is against Derby County. It's in the Capital One Cup. Let's see if we can get off to a good start. This was a really tough game. I came up against a really good opposition team. I had my back against the wall for long periods, but one thing that defined it was we were defending really well, putting in lots of good tackles from Hayes, especially at the back. Loads of good blocks, like one here from Bovager. We were just keeping them out any way possible because they were constantly attacking. If they got through the defence, there was Doherty there to make a sensational save. So we kept working hard, we kept them out. They had one really good opportunity here, but it was just over the bar. For some reason they had a defender up front, but they kept on pressing. We even had to clear one off the line. So it was a really tough game. Half time came and they had 61% possession. We had no shots at all, not even any on target. It was such a tough half. I was just glad to be in at 0-0. Second half was a bit different. We seemed to get a bit more of the ball, few more opportunities going forward. They didn't really come to much, but we started having a bit more possession, a few more attacks going forward, and it looked like we may be able to get something out of this game, not just spending the whole time defending. So it was typified here by Bong crossing the ball in. The ball dropped to Sobby on the edge of the box, fired in a rocket, great save from the keeper, and Bong nodded in the rebound, but he was offside. So that was a bit unfortunate, but it was just showing that we were coming right back into the game, and we really started to feel like we could get something out of this. Derby kept on pressing though, they weren't out of it at all. They really should have done better from here with the goal gaping. Doherty's only mistake of the game really. Another great cross in here. We were defending well though, we kept up the great defence at the back. And right near the end, Bong found a bit of space, keeper saved, and it dropped to Sobby with the goal gaping, but he couldn't find the back of the net. That was in extra time at the end of the second half, and he just fired it wide. Really should have done better. So that of course meant that we hadn't found the goal and we were going into extra time. Still 0-0 against Derby, a really good team. We were lucky to be in it really. As you can see, they're still pretty much 60-40 possession split, but we had more shots on target than they did, so we were right back in the game. First period of extra time, they fired over with a really great opportunity, but we had chances of our own too. Bong being a constant threat out front, using that pace he's got, finding a bit of space, but he had no one there to help him. All my players were just so tired that we just couldn't make anything of it. In the end, a bit unfortunate really. A golden opportunity there for Derby, but they rushed it, and it was easy for Doherty in the end. But that was about it. The second period of extra time ended, and that meant dreaded penalties. So Derby were up first with Russell, but a great save from Doherty kept him out. That gave us a great advantage going into our first spot kick with Paulet. But it was saved as well. He couldn't take advantage, so it was still 0-0. And then up stepped Martin for Derby. Could he put them ahead? Well, unfortunately, yes he could. Sent our keeper the wrong way. So that was 1-0 to Derby. And the pressure was on Quinton now to see if he could level it. And fortunately he could. Smashed it straight above the keeper's head. No doubt in his mind there. So then it was Coots' turn for Derby, trying to make it 2-1 to them. And he sent Doherty the wrong way. Confident penalty. 2-1 to Derby. Now it is on Pender. Try and level it up to 2-2. and he strode up and confidently sent the keeper the wrong way, stroked it into the bottom corner. So we're doing okay, we're keeping level with Derby. No doubt that we're going to do okay in this one, but then upset Hughes, hit the post and rolled right across the line. I feared it might hit Doherty and go in, but it didn't, so that was a great advantage to us. Bong came up to see if he could put us into the lead, and he could. Not the greatest of penalties, but keeper didn't move, so in it went. So we are now 3-2 up. Shotton had to score to keep them in it, and he did just about, smashed it underneath the crossbar. But then it was on Bovaga. He could win it for us here, and up he stepped for the final penalty, and in it went. Keeper goes the wrong way, so we won. We knocked out Derby in the first round of the cup. For some reason Doherty not celebrating at all there, a little bit weird, but didn't matter because we won. We knocked him out, a team that was playing much better than us, and for long periods we had our backs against the wall. So I was really pleased to come out with a good win there, even if it did take it to penalties. So it was a bit of a nerve-wracking game, but we ended up winning, and that's all that mattered. Possession 58% to Derby, but we still had the same amount of shots on target as them, so we had our opportunities. Couldn't score any in open play, but it didn't matter. And look at those ratings at the back. Defenders and goalkeeper all doing really well, some great ratings there, and we ended up getting a great result, so I was pretty pleased with that. So after that nail-biting game against Derby, we had a piece of good news that settled my nerves a little bit. Liam Osborne has accepted his contract, which is fantastic news. Okay, we now have our first league game of this season, and it's against Leyton Orient, and let's see how we do. So this game was very different. We made an instant impact. Smith sprang a lovely ball out wide, finding Lodigan in loads of space, who took the ball down the wing, looked up, crossed it into Robson, who didn't win the first header, but look at this, got there first ahead of the keeper, used his size and his strength to get there first and nodded it past the keeper into the back of the net. 1-0 after 10 minutes, with Robson getting the goal, which is really good to see because we have a couple of other strikers, especially after the arrival of Bong, who are perhaps a little bit better than Robson, but he offers something different. He's a big guy, uses his height and his strength, which is what the other strikers can't give. So he has got off the mark there, 1 goal in the league, and we are now 1-0 up against Leyton Orient. The next opportunity came after about 20 minutes. Quinton picking up the ball on the edge of the box, firing in a great shot, but the keeper was equal to it. But then Robson came again a few minutes later, threw on goal, and all he had to do was find the back of the net, but he couldn't do it, dragged it wide. But this was great because we were all over Leyton Orient, loads of chances, loads of shots on goal, but I was kind of stunned by that. Amazing cross in, brilliant header, and they were 1-1, and that was pretty much their first shot on target, so I was kind of stunned by that. But then it got worse. They came again straight away, lovely turn by Dagnall, and how about that for a finish? No keeper was going to stop that one, fired into the top corner, so I was really shocked now. I thought I was dominating, but I was now 2-1 down, and so I came straight away from the kickoff, Robson almost getting through, but I was kind of worried here. I thought I might let the game slip away from me, so I decided to take it a bit more easy this time, a bit more passing, a bit more patience, waiting for the opportunity, and there was Guirassy, found that opportunity and fired it into the back of the net. So it came up to 45 minutes and it was 2-2 already. This went from a game where I thought I was going to be cruising it, winning quite easily, to one where I was suddenly really worried and I was a bit on the back foot, having to work hard to get back into the game. It was 2-2, but it was a bit of a shock to be in that situation. Luckily, Guirassy was there to finish it. Keeper probably should have done better and kept that out, but it didn't matter. We are now at 2-2, back in the game and ready to kick on and try and get the win that I thought would be quite easy in this game. So Guirassy is now off the mark as well, 1 goal in the league, and we came in at half time. Once again, I hardly had any possession, but we had more shots on goal and more shots on target, so we had the better opportunities in that half, and I was really looking forward to trying to get another goal. So then we came forward early on in the next half, Robson coming through, holding off the defender, but he couldn't put it into the back of the net, and I kind of felt like I was lacking something up front, a bit of pace perhaps, a bit of difference, so I brought on Kelvin Bong in place of Guirassy, and almost instantly he made a difference. Lobbed through ball there towards him, great touchdown, and firing that into the corner. Keeper stood no chance there, and that was on 83 minutes, so I was so relieved. I thought this was a game which I really should be winning, and I just couldn't get into the lead, but I brought on Bong, had a bit of difference up front, a bit of pace that the other strikers didn't have, and he really made a difference. What a goal that was, and a fantastic time to do it as well. Lovely touch to bring it down and get away from his defender. And look at that, rocket into the corner. So I really feel like I've got a lot of different options up front. Bong with the pace, Robson with a bit of strength, Garassi with his good dribbling. So this bodes well for going forward. But how about that for a lovely finish? Keeper stood no chance. So that's Bong off the mark as well. And all I had to do now was just hold on for 5 minutes. And we managed to do it. We ended up winning our first game of the league 3-2 against a team which, like I said, I really thought we should have won a bit more than that, but it didn't matter. So we came in with 59% possession to 41, again dominated in possession, but I had loads more shots and more shots on target as well. So I was doing well where it mattered. And as for ratings, we had some great ratings in there. Robson man of the match 7.6, Smith 7.1, Butler 7.2, Paulo Daniel 7.4, so some good performances and a really good result. Right, another tense game there, another exciting match, 3-2 eventual winners, left it right to the end though, but we have got a transfer offer here for Curtis Simpson. Remember, we want him to go out on loan, not selling him, just on loan to York City. They are not in our division, so we will happily accept that one, and hopefully he can improve a bit more this season. Right, and we've got another transfer offer, this time for Jack Watmore. Let's see, it's from Crew Alexandra. They want to purchase him for £80,000, his value is £90,000. I think I will accept that, it's not much difference. So we will accept that, and that will take us above the £2 million mark. Amazing, considering we hardly had any money at the start of the season before we sold some players. I will very happily accept that offer. Right, that's where I'll leave it today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you enter the Scouting God contest this month. Like I said earlier in the video, it is on fastest players, so make sure you get scouting wingers and that kind of thing. Try and find as fast a player as you can. This month it's going to be a little bit more relaxed. They don't have to be in the academy or just promoted. They can be up to 20 years old, no older though, just up to 20. So you've got a couple of years to develop them, because like I said, it is very, very difficult to find fast players straight out of the academy. So you've got a little bit extra on this one. Probably only going to be this month, so make sure you take advantage of it. So make sure you enter that. If you want to enter via Twitter, you can take a picture and send it to my Twitter account, which is at FIFA Scouting, using the hashtag ScoutingGod, or you can send it to Facebook, which is facebook.com/FIFA Scouting Tips, or you could take a picture and leave a link in the comments below, or you could send it over to FIFAScoutingTips.com. There are also loads of guides over there, so make sure you check that out. Make sure you also leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and leave any comments or suggestions you've got. I always try and take them on board, and thanks for watching.